I'm very concerned about how Google is going to be using the water and how much water they're going to be using.
I don't like to see the region's rivers and aquifers compromised so that Google can make money off of advertising and data sales. To me, that's a poor exchange.
And I'm defending what he's given the world here in this part. All of the fresh air, clean water, because when I go meet my maker, I want to be able to tell him I tried to defend him the best of my ability.
Dalles is a community of about 15,000 people located midway down the Columbia River Gorge. We're about 85 miles east of Portland, Oregon. And mostly we have a lot of agriculture here. And in 2021, we've had the worst drought in 30 years. So what we're looking at is competition between city and residential and farm users versus a very large corporation with undisclosed water usage. And to me, that's where the water wars are starting.
If they're going to add 2 more data centers here in this area, it's going to take a lot more water. And that's why the city council doesn't want to disclose how much water they're taking out of the ground.
I live out in the country, and our well, since our house has been built in 2005, has gone down 15 feet in water.
Over 1 million people in the state rely on groundwater as their primary source of drinking water, and groundwater is often the source water for streams.
From what I hear from local farmers, they're very concerned about the water usage. Obviously, when we talk about the water tables, that impacts their ability to make their own living, and they need the water to survive.
These corporations are the ones that need to pay something because they're utilizing a resource, and they're not paying, but they're keeping profits for their shareholders and themselves.
With Google's financial resources, they definitely can pay taxes, and this is just a drop in the bucket for them.
Whether it's the groundwater that they're pumping out, and they won't say how much they're using, and how long they're going to use it, and the amount of usage, all the time that it's going to be here. And then when they decide to relocate, what's going to be left? A mess. I highly doubt this company is going to stay here and help clean up when they find out they can't pump the amount of water that they need. They're going to look for another place, and they're going to get a tax break there. And they're going to clear out their water supply.
When you have small town city people negotiating agreements against large corporations that have unlimited legal resources, that's a great cause for concern. I really hate for the people that are in the city council here to have a legacy that they're remembered for making the worst decision in our city's history.
This is my homeland. This is where my people have always been. When Lewis and Clark trespassed into this area, this is where we were. In the history books, it's called the Long Narrows because the water, the falls were there, and that's where it made it easier for the fish to get up there because the water was cold, free-flowing.
Salmon and steelhead in the Columbia River are imperiled. There are over a dozen Endangered Species Act listed runs of salmon and steelhead in the Columbia River, and they've suffered from hydropower, from water diversions, from hot water temperature, among other things. New uses like this of water, including groundwater in this region, only add to those impacts.
I can remember watching my people there in Celilo and the Klickitat River. We had wooden fish boxes, and they would put fish in those boxes and then cover them with a wet burlap bag, and the fish would be all right. And now I think the way this water is warm, the fish are getting cooked as they're traveling upstream to spawn.
Water is life, and it's everywhere around here that we need it and we depend upon it, and it's the very survival of our community depends upon it.
They're always saying, this is a free market country, but nothing is free. My people's health, my people's water, my people's food supply is sacrificed that. We have to suffer that.